Jarrett Stidham, he was your backup for a year. Give me a scouting report.
You know, I've always loved Stiddy. He's a very natural passer of the football, very competitive, very smart. He's got sneaky, good athleticism.
Yeah.
He's performed well out there when he's gotten opportunities. And I know the Denver coaching staff, from the things that I read this week, everybody's got a tremendous amount of confidence in Stiddy, what he can do. And, you know, it's tough losing Bo Nix. That's a brutal injury, certainly at that stage of the game, at this stage of the season. But at the same time, you know, Stiddy's got a lot of ability. There's a reason why he's been on this club, and there's a reason why Sean Payton has a lot of confidence in him. And I wouldn't sleep on him at all. He's proven he can make NFL-caliber throws, lead teams to victories by playing good football and not turning the ball over. And he's going to need to do that because New England's defense is pretty absurd as well. So there's really 4 good defensive football teams here late in the season playing these championship games. And it's not going to be easy out there for anybody. This has got to be clean football, no turnovers, no penalties, no kind of unforced errors. Whoever wins the special teams battle and field position will have an advantage. And then it will come down to, in my view, third down and situational football in the red zone. Who's kicking field goals, who's scoring touchdowns. These games are going to be very close, and they're playing for a lot. This is a chance to go to win a world championship. So no bigger weekend in football than this.
Yes, the situation is genuinely amusing to me. I can't help but smile, because everything Tom Brady articulated was fundamentally accurate. Yet his commentary is essentially what you could proclaim about any football contest at any given time. Avoid turnovers, eliminate penalties, excel in situational football, execute intelligently in the red zone, convert on third down. It's all standard, universally applicable advice. Football discourse often provokes a chuckle for this very reason. You can essentially copy and paste the same core analysis for every single team, every single week. That doesn't, however, diminish its truth or its value in repetition. This brings us to the intriguing predicament of inserting a quarterback like Jarrett Stidham into a high-stakes game such as this. The central questions become exceedingly practical. Can he deliver the necessary throws on pivotal third downs? If it's 3rd and 4, and the pocket disintegrates, does he possess the mobility to scramble and secure the first down with his legs? When facing a 3rd and 1 at the Patriots' 45-yard line, do you, as a play caller, have sufficient confidence in his arm to take a shot downfield, knowing you can resort to a quarterback sneak on 4th down if needed? Or does that lack of trust compel you to simply hand the ball off, prioritize the new set of downs, and reset? The spectrum of unknowns is vast. There are simply so many unresolved variables. In one moment, my belief in this Broncos defense is unwavering and robust. In the next moment, doubts creep in, and I wonder if this unit needs to rediscover its dominant form and reestablish its identity. It truly is the quintessential wait-and-see scenario. Frankly, even Tom Brady's assessment, while correct, leaned towards generic football platitudes. He acknowledged Stidham can make throws, demonstrated intelligence, and competes hard. What alternative is he going to offer? Is he going to label him unintelligent or uncommitted? Of course not. The analysis naturally defaults to a cautious, "we'll have to see." The more I scrutinize Stidham's potential, the more I consider the surrounding infrastructure in Denver, the more a sense of intrigue builds. However, a critical reality check is necessary. We must not undervalue what Bo Nix provided this team. In numerous crucial, high-leverage moments, Nix consistently elevated his performance and delivered when it was imperative. This leads to the paramount question. Can the Denver Broncos prevail in this contest without requiring Jarrett Stidham to deliver a season-defining, heroic performance? Is it feasible to win with merely competent, efficient quarterback play, as opposed to demanding a perfect back-shoulder fade in the red zone, or a miraculous off-script completion? As I postulated earlier, imagine a scenario. 3rd and 5, pressure collapses the pocket, Stidham escapes. But does he then scramble for a decisive 10-yard gain? Or does he get entangled and sacked short of the marker? Can he truly rise to the occasion? Envision this. You're trailing by 2 points with 4 minutes remaining. The directive is simple. Just navigate us into field goal range. Then, it's 3rd and 12. In that pressurized moment, do you trust his decision-making? Do you trust his arm to make the requisite throw? Can he ascend to meet the demands of that moment? When I mentally simulate these high-pressure sequences, That's when a sense of unease begins to surface. That's the origin of my repeated "I don't know" sentiment. How could anyone claim definitive certainty? You cannot simply dismiss him with the argument, if he were truly that exceptional, he would have secured a starting opportunity long before now. The unfortunate reality of the NFL is that this is simply how the league often operates. Malik Willis possesses the physical tools to be a starting quarterback. Logically, he should have received more starting opportunities than Shedeur Sanders. Yet Sanders garnered more starts. Spencer Rattler has likely started more games than Willis. This shouldn't reflect their respective career trajectories, yet it does. That's the capricious nature of professional football. This dynamic is what makes the theme of Eminem's "Lose Yourself" so resonant. The fear of missing your one fleeting opportunity. It's an anxiety-inducing concept because the pressure to capitalize is immense. You genuinely may never receive another legitimate chance. The stark reality is that many capable players never even get that one true opportunity. It's a tough, often unfair aspect of sports and life. Therefore, Stidham could very well be a great quarterback, but the system may have never afforded him the platform to prove it. We simply do not know. This is where the situation becomes particularly nuanced and where incentives create a complex puzzle. If Sean Payton genuinely believed Jarrett Stidham was a special, potentially great quarterback, on par with the caliber of a Drake May, as some analysts suggest, then a moral and professional dilemma arises. Wouldn't Payton feel compelled, as a human being and a coach, to facilitate Stidham's path to a starting role elsewhere? Wouldn't he say, "Jarrett, you are a starting caliber NFL quarterback. I would love to retain you as my backup, but I cannot, in good conscience, impede your career. I need to have conversations to get you to a team where you can genuinely compete for a starting job, because that opportunity isn't here with Bo Nix on the roster." However, the NFL is a cutthroat business. Payton might adopt a far more pragmatic, even cold, approach. That's not my concern. The outcome hinges entirely on the nature of their personal and professional relationship. It's a tricky, ethically ambiguous area. We, as observers, are forced to draw conclusions based on severely limited information, and we often rely on the commentary of others who have their own incentives and biases. As I noted, Tom Brady is never going to sit with Colin Cowherd and declare, "Jarrett Stidham has no chance. He's not good. He was a terrible backup, lazy, and clueless in the film room." Even if that were the unvarnished truth, he would never publicly state it. This is why I found it telling when Joe Flacco was asked about a young quarterback and responded, "He's fun." That's not typically the descriptor you lead with for a quarterback you believe is a franchise cornerstone. It's a diplomatic, somewhat revealing non-answer. Presently, I perceive that many analysts and fans are underestimating the Broncos, particularly in a Super Bowl context. The prevailing desire is for a narrative centered on Drake May and the New England Patriots, a vision of the NFL's future. The future of the league is perceived to be Drake May or Bo Nix, not Jarrett Stidham and the Denver Broncos. Even if Stidham proves to be remarkably effective, his story isn't framed as the long-term, marketable future in the same way. Therefore, on one hand, a Stidham-led Super Bowl victory would be a phenomenal human interest story, a testament to perseverance and the unpredictable magic of the sport. On the other hand, it lacks the long-term, financial, and legacy-defining implications of a May or Nix championship. It doesn't carry the weight of a legacy-cementing moment for a coach like Sean McVay with Matthew Stafford. In a peculiar sense, a Denver Broncos Super Bowl win with Jarrett Stidham could be viewed by the broader NFL media ecosystem as a worst-case scenario from a narrative perspective. To be perfectly clear, I am not stating it's my worst-case scenario, but rather analyzing the potential media fallout. What sustained conversations would dominate the offseason following a Stidham victory? Likely not many centered on him. The discourse would rapidly revert to Drake May 24/7 or Matthew Stafford 24/7 for legacy debates. Sam Darnold presents as the ultimate redemption arc, and while Stidham has shades of that, it feels distinct and potentially less compelling to the national narrative. Consequently, I am deeply curious to observe how momentum shifts and how the post-game conversations unfold. This is further complicated by the fact that this is the first of the championship weekend games. Many have already mentally sketched out a Drake May versus Matthew Stafford Super Bowl, an undeniably exciting prospect featuring the two MVP frontrunners. If Stidham and the Broncos win, however, the reaction will be heavily contingent on how they win. Was it a sloppy, defensive, low-scoring affair like 17-14? If so, immediate doubts would arise about their viability against the offensive firepower of the Seahawks or Rams in the Super Bowl. If Stidham plays exceptionally well, the question will be, was that a one-off fluke? Can he possibly replicate that on the biggest stage? The benefit of the doubt afforded to a rookie sensation like May, where a great performance instantly fuels their winning-it-all prophecies, simply wouldn't exist for Stidham. Thus, if the Broncos win, it inevitably casts a certain shadow over the subsequent Super Bowl matchup. The narratives become more forced. Sam Darnold versus Jarrett Stidham, Matthew Stafford versus Jarrett Stidham. It lacks the effortless, headline-ready allure of MVP versus MVP in a May-Stafford showdown. The storytelling becomes more challenging. We shall see. I will be live streaming this entire game. No matter your location, domestically or internationally, please feel free to join the stream. I'll be covering both championship games. Given that a significant portion of the country is reportedly facing severe weather and potential power outages, I hope everyone prioritizes safety. Take necessary precautions, stay home if you can, and if you must travel, please do so carefully. My hope is that by Sunday, conditions stabilize, and we can all settle in to witness what promises to be wild and captivating football. Your presence in the stream is always welcome. This matchup, Broncos versus Patriots, epitomizes what makes the NFL so compelling. Jarrett Stidham making his first start since the 2023 season, doing so in the AFC Championship game against the top-seeded New England Patriots in the formidable environment of Denver. It's a storyline dripping with drama. You simply cannot script it better. I am eager to hear your perspectives. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. Whether you concur with my analysis or vehemently oppose it, let's engage in lively discussion. Let's debate, let's exchange viewpoints, but ultimately, let's share in the enjoyment of the game. Please consider subscribing to the channel. We are fostering a fantastic community here, and I would be absolutely delighted to have you as a part of it. My aim is to cultivate a space where we all feel a genuine connection, a shared excitement about the sport we love. I believe we are making significant strides toward that goal. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it genuinely assists with visibility and the platform's algorithm. Thank you so much for your time and engagement. I'll see you next time.